On August 27, 2025, a historic encounter took place in Ouagadougou, where the desert winds of Oman crossed paths with the spirit of the Sahel. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, welcomed Abdul Salam bin Mohammed Al Morshidi, the head of Oman's sovereign wealth fund, along with a high-level delegation. Their visit carried a clear purpose: to explore new avenues of investment in Burkina Faso, particularly in the areas of mining, agriculture, and other vital sectors of the national economy. Before we dive deeper into the importance of this event, I'd like to remind you to support this channel by liking the video. Your engagement helps us reach a wider audience and share stories that highlight Africa's rising partnerships and economic transformation. Together, we can strengthen Africa's digital presence and ensure these stories are heard worldwide. Now, let's look at why this visit is such a big deal. Oman is far more than just another Gulf nation. Strategically located along the Arabian Sea, it has long been a hub for international trade and maritime routes, with a history in global commerce stretching back centuries. Backed by its powerful sovereign wealth fund, Oman has invested billions in infrastructure, energy, and industry across the globe. Today, however, its eyes are set on Africa, a continent seen as the next great frontier for sustainable growth and opportunity. Sending Al Morshidi and his team to Burkina Faso shows that investors are increasingly paying attention to the Sahel nation, despite its challenges. For Burkina Faso, the timing couldn't be better. Facing economic pressures, security concerns, and the constant search for genuine partners, the country is seeking alliances that respect its sovereignty and development goals. Unlike many Western partnerships often tied with heavy conditions, Oman's approach emphasizes trade, mutual respect, and investment-driven growth. This aligns perfectly with President Traoré's vision of strengthening South-South cooperation and diversifying Burkina Faso's global partnerships. At the heart of the discussions was the mining sector. Burkina Faso, rich in gold, zinc, and other minerals, sees mining as a crucial driver for both local prosperity and global supply chains, from technology to luxury goods. Omani investment could introduce capital, technology, and expertise to modernize operations, boost efficiency, and ensure sustainability. In turn, the resulting revenue could be reinvested into schools, hospitals, roads, and energy projects, fueling nationwide development. Agriculture was another major topic. With vast fertile lands and hardworking farming communities, Burkina Faso holds tremendous agricultural potential. Yet, outdated farming methods, poor irrigation, and limited access to markets have slowed progress. Oman, with its advanced experience in irrigation and agribusiness, could help unlock that potential. Picture Burkina Faso's mangoes, cotton, and sesame reaching not only African markets but also shelves across the Middle East, strengthening trade links and improving farmers' livelihoods. But the vision extended far beyond farming and mining. The Omani delegation also discussed opportunities in renewable energy, logistics, manufacturing, and infrastructure, signaling a long-term commitment to diversified growth. Such an approach reflects Oman's understanding that Africa's future lies not just in raw resources, but in building a broad and resilient economy. The visit concluded with promises of further agreements and expanded cooperation. This wasn't just diplomatic rhetoric, it was the beginning of a roadmap for deeper ties. With Oman potentially serving as a gateway for Burkina Faso's goods into the Gulf, and Burkina Faso opening its markets to Omani expertise, this partnership could redefine economic cooperation between Africa and the Middle East. Beyond business, however, the meeting carried symbolic weight. It represented a bridge between two regions with rich histories, the Arabian Peninsula and the African Sahel, and the possibility of a future built on mutual respect, opportunity, and shared progress. During the meeting, Abdul Salam bin Mohammed Al Morshidi delivered the personal greetings of His Majesty, the Sultan of Oman, to President Ibrahim Traoré. While this may seem like a simple diplomatic gesture, such exchanges carry great weight in international relations. They build trust, show respect, and often open the door to deeper, long-term cooperation between states. In this case, it signaled Oman's genuine interest in building a meaningful partnership with Burkina Faso. Observers note that this initiative reflects a broader shift taking place across Africa. Nations like Burkina Faso are no longer relying solely on their traditional Western partners. Instead, they are seeking new alliances in Asia and the Middle East, where cooperation is often based on trade and investment rather than political conditions. Oman's move fits into this trend, yet its style stands out. Unlike some powers that pursue aggressive diplomacy, Oman prefers a quieter, more respectful approach, one rooted in economic collaboration without political interference. For the people of Burkina Faso, such partnerships hold real promise. If handled transparently, Omani investments could generate jobs, transfer valuable skills, and open up new markets for local businesses. Just as importantly, they could reduce the nation's dependence on Western aid and loans, which often come with restrictive conditions. This vision aligns with President Traore's consistent call for sovereignty, self-reliance, and African-led development. Of course, challenges remain. Partnerships are only effective when they are balanced and fair. Burkina Faso must ensure that agreements bring real benefits to its citizens rather than favoring outside investors. Transparency, accountability, and good governance will determine whether this cooperation becomes a true success. On the other hand, Oman will need to show that its engagement is not driven solely by profit, but also by a long-term commitment to uplifting communities and building local capacity. If both sides follow through, the Ouagadougou meeting could be remembered as the start of a new era in Africa-Middle East relations. It might even encourage other nations across the Sahel and beyond to explore similar partnerships, strengthening Africa's path toward independence and Pan-African unity. The timing is also symbolic. As many Western governments reduce their footprint in the Sahel, Oman's presence sends a powerful message. Africa is not alone, and new friends are ready to engage on equal terms. This could reshape the geopolitical landscape of the region, giving African nations more leverage and choice in how they pursue their development. The visit was not just about Burkina Faso and Oman. It was a signal to the world that Africa is rising and that global powers must pay attention. The partnership outlined in this meeting could serve as a model, showing how cooperation based on respect and shared interests can unlock progress for both sides. And for us as viewers and storytellers, it's important to amplify such moments. By sharing and supporting platforms that tell Africa's stories, we strengthen the continent's voice on the global stage. The August 27th meeting was more than a polite diplomatic exchange. It was a strategic step that could redefine Burkina Faso's economic trajectory. It emphasized opportunities in mining, agriculture, and trade, while also carrying a message of friendship from the Sultan of Oman to the people of Burkina Faso. What this partnership becomes in the years ahead remains to be seen. But one fact is clear. Africa is no longer a passive player in world affairs. It is taking charge of its future, forging new alliances, and writing its own story of resilience, ambition, and transformation. And Burkina Faso's growing ties with Oman are just one chapter in that unfolding narrative.